Welcome and good morning, dear student. So, this is your theoretical topic penalty and prosecutions under Income Tax Act 1961. So, this is our last unit syllabus of income tax. Basically, this topic is related with the penalty and prosecution. As you know, no law can be implemented effectively and satisfactorily unless and until there are some provision of penalty and prosecutions. So, for the application of any law, penalties and prosecutions are very important. Same here in income tax, also there have been made provisions and penalties and prosecutions. Otherwise, in absence of these, there is a danger of tax evasion. People start with tax evasion. Various types of penalties and prosecutions we have under this chapter. So we will discuss. Actually, this topic is completely theoretical. Therefore, it is not possible to read all the points. So my dear student, I opt a few important prosecutions, important penalties for you in this audio lecture series. So we can go through all these slides one by one. Okay, now come to the second point. The second slide, this is about introduction. So introduction is the penalty and prosecution is that if there is any defaulties in any law of income tax, there will be some penalties and prosecutions. So you will have to follow all penalties and prosecution provisions if you are failed to pay income tax, if you are failed to produce any documents, if you are failed to produce any important requirement by the assessing officer. So there are some provisions regarding penalties and prosecutions. Okay, so what is the need of penalty and prosecution? On the following ground, penalty and prosecutions are necessary. What are those grounds? So those grounds are very simple to understand. The first one is to stop theft of tax. Every people want to pay less amount of tax. For this purpose, he or she may use some illegal way to reduce tax liability. Okay, so to stop some such kind of tax evasion, penalties and prosecutions are very necessary. Second point, for filing return of income in time and to show the correct income in this return. So income tax return is the document by which government can know about your incomes. If that income is unsatisfactory and it is with the fault information, so government will not able to get your correct income. For this purpose, there is penalty and prosecution. Third point, for making payment of advance tax on correct time. So advance payment of tax, if you have tax liability in any financial year more than 10,000, so you will be liable to pay advance tax, and there are some penalties and prosecutions if you are failed to pay your advance tax on time. Okay, so for the purpose implement of advance tax on time, penalties and prosecutions are very necessary. To follow completely all the notice sent by income tax department. So there are few prosecutions and penalties if you not follow, if you not given the answer of notice which are sent by the income tax department. So implementation of these penalties are very important. To keep properly all the accounts and books. All accounts and books are the financial statement which reflect your financial position of the company. If you are not providing, or if you are not maintaining accounts and books, so your income will not be identifiable. So there are some penalties if you are not maintaining your books of accounts. To get accounts audited on the correct time. So there is a certain time for filling return of income. Before filling return of income, every businessman or every company is required to audit their accounts book. Okay, so if someone is failed to follow, someone is failed to complete this formality, so there is a provision of penalty and prosecution. To give reply of question properly asked by the income tax authority to the assessee. If income tax authority want to ask something about your income, something about your verification proof, something about your vouchers, so income tax officer can ask, can give you notice regarding this, and if you are not replying for this purpose, there is a penalty. To show permanent account number correctly in return of income and their document. So permanent account number is very important number. This number can be linked with your bank account, and your bank account is linked with your income tax department. So if you are not providing your accurate permanent account number, so it will not reflect your income. So it is very important to show your PAN correctly in your return. For deducting tax at source and depositing it on correct time into the government treasury. So TDS is a important thing, and it should be deposited by the deductor into the government treasury on time. If you are not depositing fund in government treasury, so this is your punishable talk. Next, for deducting, to follow fully the provision of section 178(1)(3) by liquidator of the company. So this is this may be our last objective to behind penalty and prosecution, that we must follow the provision under section 178(1)(3), which is important for the liquidation of the company. Okay, so these were few objectives for which are very for what penalties and prosecutions are very important. Now, my dear student, we have process of imposing penalty. So how you can impose penalty? The assessee shall be given full chance to being heard him before imposing penalty. Definitely, if assessing officer charging some penalty on you, so assessee has a full right to get a specific time or sufficient time to heard him before imposing penalty. Every authority shall send a copy of penalty to the assessing officer, except when the authority in himself assessing officer. Penalty under various sections for doing various mistakes may be imposed upon assessee. In case of penalty more than prescribed limit is imposed, permission of joint commissioner is essential. So dear student, these are few important points regarding process of imposing penalty. Now, what penalties we have, what offenses we have. So in this audio lecture series, we have n number of penalties, n number of offenses, but I am taking just only the crust of the main line, you know. So first point, penalty for under reporting, section 270A. So this penalty is come under section 278, is about penalty for under reporting. So if there is some under reporting in your return, so there is a penalty of 50% of computed tax. You will have to pay extra 50% of your computed tax. Second, misreporting of income, it is under section 270A, same. There is a penalty of 200% of computed tax if you misreport it in your return. Okay, so I am taking the only main thing of the penalty, like 50% of computed tax, 200% of computed tax. Okay, and for more, if you want to know, I will post few notes regarding this chapter, so that you will be more comfortable with all these points. Penalty on failure to compile with notice under section 271. If there is any notice by income tax department and you are failure, and assessee is failure to compile with the notice under section 271, there will be a failure to get audited account, failure to produce accounts and document on a specific date, and failure to produce evidence. So there is a penalty of rupees 10,000. not to make payment of tax or interest or both, self assessment. So we have 4 types of assessment which we have already discussed. Out of them, the one is self assessment. If in self assessment, not to make payment of tax or interest both, it may be payment of interest, it may be payment of tax or both. So under section 221, the penalty cannot be exceed the amount due. Suppose there is a amount of tax is rupees 500, so your penalty cannot be more than 500. Not to pay according to the demand of notice, section 221(2). So if not to pay according to demand of notice, if income tax department issued some demand issued a notice of a specific demand and you are not providing such things, so there is a penalty of 1% on the amount due from the due date to the date of payment. So only 1% penalty on the amount due. Fined in defaulter of the payment of tax in a specified period, section 221. If you are found as defaulter of payment of tax in a specific period, so under section 221, penalty amount cannot be more than the amount of tax due. So if there is some amount of tax, suppose it's 700, so your penalty cannot be more than 700. Fine in case of concealment of income or on submitting wrong return of income. Okay, you are submitting wrong return of income, you are producing income tax return but it is wrong. So under section 271, there is a 100% equivalent to the amount of tax. Like if you have your penalty may be 100% of the amount of tax, or it may be 300% of amount due. Okay. Penalty in case of concealment of the fringe benefit of the wrong statement regarding fringe benefit, section 271. Same here we have, if you are providing wrong statement about your fringe benefits, so there is a penalty of 100% of amount of tax and 300% of amount due. Wrong statement of profit of registered firm under section 271(4). So if the firm is registered and firm providing wrong statement which showing the bogus amount of income, bogus amount of expenses, so it's called wrong statement of profit, there is a penalty of 150% of the tax saved. Suppose there is a penalty, there is a tax of rupees 4,000, so you will have to pay 6,000 as penalty. Not keeping account and documents section under section 271A. So every assessee is liable to keep accounts and documents, and if you are fail in this, so there is a penalty of rupees 25,000. Failure to keep and maintain information and document in respect of international transaction, 271AA. So every assessee is liable to maintain document if he or she is involved in international transaction under section 92E. So in that case, every you have to maintain records of that, and assessee is failure in this, so there is a penalty of 2% of the value of each international transaction. Income found in course of search which is not recorded under section 271 AAA, so there is a penalty of 10% of such income. On auditing of account under section 271B, penalty on no auditing of account. If your accounts are not audited, so under section 271B there is a 0.5% of the gross receipt or sales turnover. This is penalty, or this amount can be up to rupees 1,50,000, but not more than this. Failure to prepare report under section 92E, there is a penalty of rupees 1 lakh. So 92E means if you are involved in the international transaction, so there must be a report, and there is a penalty of rupees 1 lakh if it is not possible. Tax not deducted at source under section 271C. If you are liable to deduct tax at source and you are not doing such thing, so there is a penalty equal to the amount of not deducted at source. Failure to collect tax at source, same thing, there is a 100% tax payable. Penalty of failure to furnish return of income under section 271FA. Everybody is liable to furnish return of income and someone is failed to submit his or her return, so there is a penalty of rupees 5,000. Penalty for failure of furnish annual information return under section 271A, a sum of rupees 100 for every day during which the failure continues. Fine for not answering question, not assessing and not allowing inspection under section 272A. Okay, so not providing information under section 272A, there is a penalty for rupees 1,000. Failure to apply a code permanent account number under section 272B, there is a penalty of rupees 10,000. So these were few penalties. Now we will talk about offences and prosecutions. So my dear student, there are some offences which are punishable by imprisonment or fine or both. So first one is violating the order issued under section 132(3). If there is some order and notice issued under section 132(3) and you are violating it, so there is imprisonment of 2 years and fine. Failure to afford facility during inspection of the record maintained on electronic media under section 275B, again there is a imprisonment of 2 years and fine. Transfer and console removing of property to avoid recovery of tax, section 276, again there is a imprisonment of 2 years and fine. So these are offences where penalty is like as imprisonment of some years and some month, and some fines are also there. For example, effort of tax avoiding tax knowingly. You are avoiding tax knowingly. So under section 276C1, if amount of tax evade is more than 25 lakh, in this case imprisonment of 6 months and maximum up to the 7 year and fine also. In any other case, suppose the amount of tax is less than 25 lakhs, so in this case there is a imprisonment of 3 months and maximum up to the 2 years. So likewise we have many offences. So my dear student, these all offences are very important and you have to read all these offences very carefully, and I will also upload PowerPoint presentation of these offences on your Moodle account, so you can access over there. And if you want to listen these all offences and read all these offences, so you can go through this audio presentation. Like this, the last one, not maybe last one, willful default in unfurnishing return of total income in such cases under section 276 CCC, imprisonment of 3 months and maximum of the 3 year. Awarding knowingly record books of accounts and other document, imprisonment of 1 year and fine. Wrong statement in verification, section 2777. Same here we have same case if the amount of tax is more than 25 lakhs, and second case if the amount of tax is less than 25 lakhs. Instigating any person to produce wrong statement of income or wrong declaration of income, section 278. Same case in terms of money, and in terms of penalty, imprisonment of 6 months and maximum 7 years. If the amount of tax is less than 25 lakhs, it is 3 months and 2 years. So if you are repeating your offences again and again, so there is an imprisonment of the 6 months and maximum 7 years and fine also. So dear student, these were a few offences and penalties in this audio lecture. So please go through all these penalties and all these offences in the notes providing by me on your Moodle account, and you can also get PPTs of this presentation. Till then, stay healthy, safe, and stay at home. Thank you so much.